Hi, I'm Meredith. So Margaret Chase Smith's speech is called the Declaration of Conscience. Do you think that she did that on purpose as a play on the Declaration of Independence to say something like McCarthy wasn't valuing American culture or values?
You know, that's a really good question. I knew Margaret Chase Smith and got to know her after she left the Senate and was back in Maine. In fact, I did a documentary about her for Maine Public Broadcasting. So I got to know her. I never heard her mention the Declaration of Independence as the inspiration. I think she was really saying, this is what's on my conscience. And her speech was very, very brave at the time. In fact, one of the stories she told me was that as she wrote the speech in Skowhegan over Memorial Day weekend of 1950. She got down here to Washington. By the way, they drove back and forth in those days. It took forever. But she got back down here to Washington. There's a little trolley that runs between the Senate office building and the Capitol, underground, in the tunnel. She got on the little trolley, and there was Joseph McCarthy. And he said, "Margaret, you look serious. What's on your mind?" And she said, "I'm going to make a speech, Joe, and you're not going to like it." And she got to the Senate floor with her speech in her hand, and she had her assistant, a guy named Bill Lewis, up in the press gallery over the Senate floor with copies of the speech, and he was supposed to give the speech out. She told Bill Lewis at that moment, "Don't hand out the copies of the speech until I start talking, because I'm afraid I might lose my nerve." And the speech turned out to be one of the most important speeches of the 20th century, where she was the first person to call out the tactics and the totalitarian actions of Joseph McCarthy. And he wasn't censured by the Senate for 3 or 4 years later, but she really started it. It was a terribly courageous speech that she made June 1st, 1950.
It's actually really cool that she met him before the speech. And then,
Yeah.